Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all doing really well. So life has been really busy lately. It is back to school time here in Germany, well at least here in Bavaria, and two of my children have started new schools. So my eldest daughter Amelia, who is 10, she started at Schultüte last week, and my son Matteo, who is 6, he started at Grundschule, so primary school. He's in the 1st grade. They both seem to be really enjoying their new school so far, which I am so happy about. It's only been a week, but so far so good. So if any of you know anything about starting school in Germany, you will know that going from kindergarten to 1st grade here is a huge, big deal. And last week was a huge celebration for Matteo starting school. So Amelia starting her school, it was still a big deal, but not as big as starting school for the first time. And so I want to talk a little bit about Matteo's first day of school. I made a video quite a long time ago when Amelia started school, talking about what it's like to start school in Germany. Looking back now, when Amelia started school, I had absolutely no idea what to expect. Everything was new and daunting and overwhelming, and I feel as though I was so much more prepared this time around with Matteo starting school, because you know, you learn from experiences, and I don't know, I felt like I could really enjoy his first day of school more than I could with Amelia, because I wasn't so nervous and overwhelmed. So I just wanted to talk about Matteo's first day of school, because it was really amazing, and I love how they celebrate the first day of school here in Germany. It's such a big deal. They just make the kids feel so special, and it's something really motivating for them, and I just love the first day of school in Germany. I think it's amazing. So about a month before school starts, during the school holidays, you receive a letter in the post saying what class your child is in, and Matteo was a little bit disappointed because he is not in the same class as any of his kindergarten friends. This is because most of his kindergarten friends are all going to Schule, which is sort of like an all-day school. It's up until about 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and Matteo is going to just regular school, which is till 12:15. School finishes really early here in Germany, so he will be coming home and having lunch and doing his homework at home, and we'll just see how that goes for the first year. So we reassured him and said, Matteo, don't worry, you can use this as an opportunity to make new friends, and you still have all of your old friends, you can see them in the break. And he felt okay about it after that. So not only did we find out about his class, we found out who his teacher was, and she wrote all the kids a nice welcome letter that we had to read out to them. We had to join the school app, and we received a password, and this password unlocked all of the information and notices about Matteo's particular class. And I think that's really cool, because we didn't have anything like that when Amelia first started school, and I just think it makes communication with the school a little bit easier. We also received the list of school supplies that we had to purchase, and this is a very specific list of items, so I'm going to be talking more about what exactly Matteo had to bring to school, had to like prepare for school in another video, but we had to organize all of that. We already had his school bag organized, which is a big deal here in Germany, the first school bag, and we had to organize a Schultüte, which I talked about in my video years ago when Amelia first started school. But a Schultüte is something very unique to school in Germany. Every 1st grade kid on their first day of school here in Germany has a Schultüte, which is filled with presents and sweets and school supplies and all sorts of things, and it's really, really exciting for the kids, and I love this tradition. I think it's so cool. I had no idea about this tradition when Amelia was first starting school. I had to learn all about it, and I was a little bit overwhelmed by it all, but this time around I was a pro. I knew what I was doing. I'm not going to get into the whole history behind the Schultüte, but if you're interested in learning more about the Schultüte, I'm going to link a video that was made by Feli. She goes into a lot of detail about the Schultüte and how it originated, and I think it's a really, really great informative video. But the Schultüte, basically you can either buy it or you can make it yourself. We decided to make ours ourselves. Oh my goodness, it took hours in the end because there were so many little bits and pieces, but it turned out really great. Matteo was so happy with it. We had a rocket theme, and oh, he just loved his Schultüte. So anyway, The first day of school in Germany, oh, Matteo was so excited waking up. He was dying to get to school. It worked out really well because Matteo's welcoming ceremony started a little bit later at 9:45, and we were able to take Amelia to her new school, get her settled, and then go to Matteo's welcoming ceremony. This took place in a big hall, which was a little bit different to Amelia's ceremony. Her one was outside. Anyway, when we turned up to school, I was handed a rose to say welcome and congratulations, your son's starting school. I thought that was really sweet. And so every parent was handed a rose. I don't know whether this is typical because I don't remember this when Amelia started school, but I thought it was so nice. So we headed into the hall. It was absolutely packed with kids and parents, and the kids had to lay down their Schultüte and they had to sit down in their class group, and so they had no idea what their teacher looked like or anything like that. But the teacher came over and started talking to the kids and making them feel just really, really welcome. And then the ceremony started, and it was so nice. There were seats all laid out and the kids were sitting in the front and the parents behind, and the ceremony started with the teachers just welcoming the children and just saying how happy they are to meet their new class. Matteo's teacher, I hadn't met her before, Rob hadn't met her either, and our first impression was so good. She just seemed so lovely and so warm. She was an older lady, I'm not sure, I'm not going to guess her age, but she'd been teaching for a long time, and she just seemed very, very warm, very open, and just really lovely. And so it was a really great first impression. So I'm not going to go into the specifics of the whole ceremony, but something I thought was really cool is that the children in the class above, the year above, so year 2, they sang a little song for the year 1 kids. It was something along the lines of welcome, and you know, I know that you might be feeling a little bit scared, but don't worry, that's normal, and just all, I can't remember the exact lyrics, but it was so cute. And then each kid's name was called out by their teacher, and they received this little kind of like medal necklace type thing, and all of the kids felt really special. It was so cute. And then the parents got together and had cake and coffee and tea and just mingled a little bit while the kids were, you know, spending time in their new classroom. And the school day, the first school day, ended at, I think it was 11 or 11:15. Matteo was absolutely over the moon. He was so excited when we saw him, and yeah, it was just a really fun first day for him. We took a few photos and then we came home, and Matteo opened up his Schultüte with all of his little presents and bits and pieces, and he was just beaming from ear to ear, just over the moon. So it was just a really fun, just really special first day of school for Matteo. So that was about it for Matteo's first day of school. He was so excited for a second day, and it worked out really well because Amelia and Matteo can walk together to the bus stop. It was a really easy transition for him taking the school bus because Amelia was there and she made sure he was okay, and he hopped on the school bus. So far the kids are really enjoying their new schools. Amelia has not had much homework this first week. I'm sure things will change next week. And also Matteo, he's only had a tiny bit of homework, and he actually really enjoyed doing the homework, which I couldn't believe, and I hope that will last. I didn't take any photos of the ceremony because I just wanted to respect everyone's privacy, and I didn't see any other parents taking photos. They were only taking photos of their own children. I just wanted to give you a little bit of an idea of what the day was like. So I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you grew up in Germany and went to school in Germany, I'd love to hear a little bit about your first day of school. Was it similar to what I described in this video? I don't know whether things have changed over the years. I don't know whether in Bavaria things are a little bit different to other areas of Germany, but this was just our experience. So guys, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up. I would love you to consider subscribing to my channel if you haven't already. I know that so many of you who watch my videos are not actually subscribed, so if you would consider subscribing, that would mean so much to me. Feel free to connect with me on Instagram, and I will see you again really soon. Bye!